No oil, no gas, no vast fields of crops, no underground treasures of gold, coal, or diamonds. Not even enough land compared to many countries. Yet, against all odds, one small island nation transformed itself from a modest colonial trading port into one of the world's most powerful financial hubs, all within just a few decades. Welcome to The Rise of a Nation. Today, we uncover the incredible journey of Singapore. Singapore is both an island nation and a city-state, located in Southeast Asia just north of the equator. It sits at the southern tip of the Malay Peninsula, bordered by the Strait of Malacca to the west, the Sea of Salahit to the south, the South China Sea to the east, and the Straits of Johor and the Malaysian state of Johor to the north. Its territory includes one main island and 63 smaller islands and islets. Through extensive land reclamation, Singapore's land area has actually grown by 25% since independence in 1965. Despite having one of the highest population densities in the world, Singapore is admired for its carefully planned urban spaces, lush greenery, and recreational areas. It is also a multicultural society with 4 official languages: English, Malay, Mandarin, and Tamil. English acts as the common working language, while the Constitution protects multiracialism and human rights, shaping policies in education, housing, and politics. According to the World Bank, Singapore is a high-income economy built on a business-friendly environment, heavy investments in infrastructure, world-class education and healthcare, efficient public services. Today, it ranks among the world's most competitive economies and tops the World Bank Human Capital Index. In the 1960s, rapid industrialization lifted Singapore's economy. Manufacturing became the backbone of growth. By the early 1970s, Singapore had reached full employment and soon joined Hong Kong, South Korea, and Taiwan as one of Asia's newly industrializing economies. Even today, manufacturing and services remain the twin pillars of its high-value economy. But what exactly was Singapore's formula for success? Let's rewind to 1819. On 28th of January 1819, Stamford Raffles of the British East India Company arrived in Singapore seeking a strategic trading post. His goal was to establish a British foothold to compete with Dutch influence in the region. After surveying the island and negotiating with Temenggong Abdul Rahman, Raffles secured a provisional agreement. The formal Treaty of Friendship and Alliance was signed on the 6th of February 1819, officially incorporating Singapore into the British sphere. Singapore, located near the Strait of Malacca, was perfect. Abundant timber and fresh water, a deep water harbor, and a location central to major trade routes. At that time, the island was under the Sultanate of Johor. With help from local chief Temenggong Abdul Rahman, Raffles recognized Tengku Hussein as the rightful sultan in exchange for permission to establish a British settlement. On February 6, 1819, Singapore officially became a British trading post. By 1824, the Anglo-Dutch Treaty placed Malaya and Singapore firmly under British influence. Along with Penang and Malacca, Singapore became part of the Straits settlements. Singapore's trade initially faced competition from Hong Kong, French-controlled Saigon, and Dutch ports in Indonesia. But fortunes changed with the opening of the Suez Canal in 1869 and the arrival of steamships. Trade boomed, leading to the construction of Tanjong Pagar wharves, and later, in 1921, a British naval base. Western demand for tin and rubber turned Singapore into one of the greatest ports in the world. However, this prosperity collapsed during World War II. In 1942, Singapore fell to Japanese forces and endured occupation until 1945. After the war, Singapore was excluded from the Malayan Union due to its large Chinese population. In 1946, it became a separate crown colony. By the 1950s, Singapore was unstable. High unemployment, social unrest, growing demand for local governance. In 1959, Singapore achieved self-government. In 1963, it joined the Federation of Malaysia. But tensions soon exploded into political and ethnic conflicts. After deadly race riots in 1964, Malaysia's Prime Minister Tunku Abdul Rahman proposed separation. On the 9th of August 1965, Singapore was expelled from Malaysia, becoming an independent nation overnight. At independence, Singapore faced grim realities. 70% of households lived in overcrowded conditions. Unemployment was 14%. Half the population was illiterate. But instead of collapsing, Singapore embarked on a bold journey of transformation. Under the leadership of Lee Kuan Yew and the People's Action Party, PAP, Singapore focused on export-oriented manufacturing, trade expansion, strong institutions, strict rule of law. Lee famously explained, "We had fewer natural resources than our neighbors. But where they were not clean, we ran clean systems. Where their rule of law was weak, we enforced it strictly. We built credibility and reliability for investors. With world-class infrastructure, educated English-speaking staff, and strong connectivity, we became a hub the world could trust." By the 1980s, unemployment dropped to just 3%, GDP growth averaged 8%. Singapore Airlines was born, Changi Airport opened, and the Port of Singapore became one of the busiest in the world. Alongside Hong Kong, South Korea, and Taiwan, Singapore rose as one of the famous 4 Asian tigers. But unlike its peers, it achieved the highest GDP per capita, despite having no natural resources. Even Nobel laureate Milton Friedman praised Singapore as a model for how to do development right. From a struggling island with no oil, no gas, and no land, to one of the richest and most advanced economies in the world, Singapore's story is a testament to visionary leadership, strict governance, and relentless innovation. What do you think of Singapore's remarkable rise to power? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more episodes of The Rise of a Nation.